Aquarius. The tarot and the zodiac are not external phenomena. They are not out there. They should be considered living essences or archetypes within each individual. You are a living, breathing zodiac. The mystic William Blake declared, "Every man and woman is a star." The great philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche said, "As long as you experience the stars as something above your head, you lack the eye of knowledge." Taroscopic charts, like any divination chart, is a map delineating the interaction between the conscious and unconscious mind, the unconscious dimensions of being, the masculine and feminine aspects of the self. However, due to modern society's aversion to whole-brain intelligence, the esoteric disciplines once revered by kings are all but deleted from serious concern, being relegated to novelty and pseudoscience. Few New Age authors today understand that astrology and the tarot are part of the Western tradition. They are the result of centuries of meditation and the meaning of existence. They are the quest to us from adepts who knew what life was all about. The Hermetic arts should be taught as they were intended. Old paradigms distract us from the great work, from realizing that each man and woman are their own priest and priestess. Working with the Hermetic arts can initiate us into our true roles and can introduce us to our life path or dharma and help us see through the illusions that plague inauthentic or karmic modes of existence. Michael Tsarion. In Aquarius, the sun gives, as a rule, a quiet, patient, determined, unobtrusive, and faithful nature. Aquarians are refined and dignified, usually quite pleasant and friendly, with the charitableness and generosity of a true humanitarian. They are fond of art, literature, and music, appreciating beautiful scenery as well. A discriminative and intuitive nature can make them cautious, but they are steady, usually quite intelligent. They are studious individuals with good concentrative abilities that makes them appear thoughtful and philosophical, and are often fond of occult research. They are good reasoners, whether in practical or theoretical realms, but because they can have strong likes and dislikes, their ideas can be very advanced, but also seem radical. They are sincere and honest, always cheerful and easily influenced by kindness, which makes them slow to anger, but they will not be driven. Most of all, they love liberty. Likewise, Aquarius rising at birth makes one determined, quiet, patient, with an unobtrusive and faithful nature as a rule, with a reasonable and thoughtful disposition that is very discriminative. Everything in the mental world appeals to them, so they are philosophical, especially fond of occult research, but their good memory and clear reasoning makes them very capable of dealing with facts. They are refined individuals, acting with honor and dignity. They are fond of art, music, and literature, possessing a sympathetic, good-hearted, and generous nature. Aquarians tend to be humanitarian with progressive ideas, so you often find them active in reforms. They are usually sociable with many acquaintances, but with their strong likes and dislikes, can make them appear peculiar or eccentric, even radical in some way. They are most often successful in pursuits when steady application of mind and concentration of thought are necessary, or where sociability and friends are required. With Uranus as their planetary ruler, they have inventive genius. And now it says this section of Aquarius is still under construction. That has been the delay. He seems to have everything here except for he talks about Libra. We'll go a little ways and see if it's still talking about Aquarius. This is why I have been waiting for this to change. Let's see. The communicativeness of air, which Aquarius, believe it or not, is an air sign. I know he's pouring water, but it is an air sign. Communicativeness of air with the activity of cardinality and the charm of Venus conspire to give the Libra native an engaging, sociable, outgoing personality with balance as their symbol. Native of this sign truly feel incomplete without a partner. Some would call them other-directed, unselfish, for it is both their blessing and their curse to see both sides of every question. As a result, they are valuable as peacemakers, but also often painfully slow in coming to personal decisions. See, Librans crave peace and harmony above all else. So he, for some reason, and it does say it's under construction, so I assume that for some reason it's gone right to Libra. But it has been saying that for months, so that's just kind of strange. It went right from Aquarius to Libra. I don't know why they would do that. But I did find another site with good information on Aquarius, so we'll read the rest of this and then we'll go into that. Now, it says here, one of the most challenging times for the institution of marriage in recent history was the late 1960s and early 70s when Uranus and Pluto were both in Libra. Artistic work also blossomed with Venus figurines, cave painting, petroglyphs, and exotic raw materials far and far from their sources, suggesting the emergence of trading links. Among the most famous of cave paintings are the Lascaux cave paintings, the complex of caves in southwestern France containing some of the earliest known art, dating back somewhere between 13,000 and 15,000 BCE. More complex social groupings emerged, supporting by more varied and reliable food sources, specialized tool types, probably contributing to reasoning increasing group identification or ethnicity. These group identities produce distinctive symbols and rituals, which are an important part of modern human behavior. The reason for these changes in human behavior have been attributed to the changes in climate during the period, which encompasses a number of global temperature drops, of already bitter climate of the last ice age. These may have reduced the supply of unstable timber and forced people to look at other materials, whilst flint becomes brittle at low temperatures and may not have functioned as a tool. It is also argued that the appearance of language made these behavioral changes possible, complexity of the new human capabilities, hence that humans were less capable of planning and foresight before 40,000 years, and that speech changed that. Images of women, mostly figurines, of the same type as the Venus, or Willendorf, all dating to Paleolithic Stone Age period, far outnumber images of men, and indeed there are most common cult figure remaining from this little understood long period of prehistory. Some have argued that this would mean that in the hunting culture of Paleolithic society, a matriarchy existed and women ruled. Others suggested that the role of the male in reproduction was not yet understood and did not occur till Neolithic times of agrarian and nomadic peoples. Most likely, the people lived close to nature, meaning they honored the Earth Mother and Mother Goddess as well as the male energy of the sun, and they attempted to live in harmony with the rhythms of the universe. Carl Gustav Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist and founder of the analytical psychology, emphasized understanding the psyche through exploring the world of dreams, art, mythology, world religion, and philosophy. Just as all humans share a common physical heritage and predisposition towards specific physical forms, like having 2 legs, a heart, etc., so do all humans have a common psychological predisposition. Our physical predispositions are determined by our DNA, while our psychological predispositions are stored in the collective unconscious. Jung was the first scientist to use the age of Aquarius to help us understand the new paradigms available when we bring the unconscious to consciousness. As we know from ancient Egyptian history, there are symptoms of psychic changes that appear at the end of one Platonic month and at the beginning of another. They are, it seems, changes in the constellation of the psychic dominance of the archetypes or gods, as they used to be called, which bring about or accompany long-lasting transformations of the collective psyche. This transformation started within the historical tradition and left traces behind within it. First is the transition of the age of Taurus to that of Aries, and then from Aries to Pisces, those beginning coincidences with the rise of Christianity. We are now nearing that great change which may be expected when the spring point enters Aquarius. Sybil Fagan believes it originates in an Egyptian ideogram called the Akhet, depicting the rising of the sun, and its meaning was the horizon or ascendant, because most ancient cultures timed the equinox and solstices by the observation of the sunrise. That's probably why they don't know what to write here, because they don't have anything. Neptune entered Libra in 1942 and stayed there until 1956, creating a generation of baby boomers. With unique challenges to relationships, most of these Neptune in Libra individuals also have Pluto in Leo and are striving to uphold the sacred institution of marriage and be devoted to their parents, while fiercely making a statement of self-assertion and individuality. There's one more section here, I might as well read it. Aphrodite had many titles, just as she had many types of worshippers. Courtesans and others worshipped her for her physical beauty, their promise of fertility in marriage, and her known love of the arts, and seduction, calling her Aphrodite Pandermos, or Aphrodite of the common people. At her temples, young maidens studied the arts of love and learning about perfumes, oils, literature, and artistic refinement. Hera and Aphrodite presided jointly over marriage, but it was Aphrodite who gave the bridal veil or secrets of love as gift at the ceremony. Her role was to instruct the bride to keep the groom happy as a companion and giver of pleasure. In contrast, Plato and his philosopher friends called her chaste and pure Aphrodite, or heavenly Aphrodite clothed in stars, worshipping her under the title Aphrodite Urania. She was the platonic friend, a spiritual role in which she is a subtle idea of spiritual beauty, beauty that is more than skin deep. Aphrodite is a caring, if dispassionate goddess, with a genuine concern for humanity and a special nature that is not vain or subject to flattery like the Aphrodite of the common people. Aquarius, belonging to the element of air and possessing the fixed quality of all the zodiac qualities. This case is probably the most difficult to understand and justify. Just as one sees air behaving in nature, it either tends to go along for long distances or stay as a whirlwind in the same place for a long time. For long times. Both of these cases represent permanence in the form of the idea that air is determined and focused on only one goal at a time. Astrologers take this phenomenon to be the reason behind how Aquarians can handle huge amounts of stress while staying calm and well within their limits of reasoning. While a majority of other signs break and give in, Aquarians tend to stay calm and composed, come what may. The mutable quality greatly relating to people born on the cusp. The mutable quality represents the middle ground between change and a fixed state. It all begins to make a little sense now as pieces fall together, with the cardinal and fixed qualities being two extremes, the mutable quality being the middle ground. For the signs that are done with the direction their life is headed in and are actively trying to settle into a newer, fixed phase, mutable quality does the trick. If you are born between January 20th and February 18th, approximate dates, you indeed belong to the Aquarius zodiac sign. These are Aquarius dates, or in other words, Aquarius birthday dates. Third air sign with Gemini and Libra. Aquarius is also the fourth fixed sign, with Uranus as a ruling planet. It is a male sign in analogy with the 11th house of the zodiac. Body parts that best represent Aquarius, astrological sign, are the ankles and legs. The fourth favorite colors of Aquarius are blue and indigo. Among the days of the week, Saturday is the one that suits them best. Their lucky numbers are 7, 14, and 20. The Aquarius star sign is also ruled by Saturn in addition to Uranus. Aquarius User Guide. Able to adapt to any situation, Aquarius is a sign that always wants to build its own roots. It is a changing sign endowed with a strong will for independence and affirmation. For Aquarius, the word freedom takes on its full meaning. They are original and nonconformist people looking to seize any opportunity offered to them. Aquarius are unpredictable in every aspect of life, and hence it is sometimes difficult to know exactly what Aquarians are like. They are cunning and always plan for a way out. Even in love, their main enemy is boredom. Just like Gemini, Aquarius love to keep their mind busy and hate the lack of activity. This is a quality that he also shares with every fire sign, including Aries. Aquarius zodiac sign is very attached to humanity and believes that they have been vested with a noble mission to offer all the help and healing they can to other people. In spite of their very independent nature, Aquarius natives are always surrounded by people and always want to make new friends. They are all willing to fight for freedom and justice. These traits are justified by the symbol of their astrological sign, a water bearer. Aquarius is someone you should not try to control or cage. They need to move around and talk as they like. Otherwise, another facet of Aquarius will appear. They are said to be cold and distant, but in truth, they are mainly cautious about their emotions and feelings. I understand that. It is hard for them to trust anyone. I understand that too. But once it is done, they are gentle and caring beings. What Aquarius are like. Aquarius astrological sign. Related to the 11th house of the zodiac, the house of friendship, the Aquarius sign is an ideal friend. They adapt perfectly to other people and to different types of friendly relationships that may arise. Aquarians are believed to have two sides. One side is all about being shy and quiet. On the other hand, the other side of Aquarius zodiac sign is about being energetic, boisterous, and eccentric. However, one thing that is common among the two sides is that they are both rational thinkers and love to help others around them. They demand independence and believe intuition must be combined with logic to make the best possible decisions. One of the Aquarius traits is that they see both sides of an argument, hence making sure judgments or decisions are not biased in any way. While they do like to socialize, they're always looking for some alone time to rejuvenate themselves. The word imagination best describes the Aquarius personality. Aquarius astrological sign will even look at the possibilities that no one else can see or imagine. Aquarius symbol, the water bearer. Aquarius symbol represents the water bearer. Hence, the Aquarius zodiac sign is all about energy and a sign that connects or brings people together, or bring people together. While Aquarians appear to be strange at the time, they can see possibilities that no one else can see. The essence of Aquarius energy is original, fair, logical, liberal, community-oriented, connective, inviting, humanitarian. The negative aspects linked to Aquarius energy can be irrational, desperate, destructive, and detached. Aquarius zodiac sign is all about humanity. They are modern, progressive, creative, broad-minded, and are always looking for the truth behind things. Since they are extremely friendly and affectionate, they end up being very popular and attractive. One Aquarius trait that sometimes makes them less likable is their failure to express and interpret emotions. This is to say that while they have many friends, not many of them would be close friends. Another negative trait among Aquarius traits is that they are highly unpredictable. However, they can work on this by reading Aquarius astrology or accessing Aquarius Today on a regular basis. Aquarians as friends. Even though Aquarius horoscope sign is surrounded with many people and has many friends, they keep themselves in check and let themselves keep some distance, very attached to their freedom. Aquarius star sign cannot be the kind of friend evolving into something sentimental. Friendly relations with Aquarius are always intellectual or ideological then. As soon as this line has been crossed, or they feel that their freedom is in jeopardy, Aquarius will withdraw. Sentimentalism in friendship makes them uncomfortable. Their best friends are Aries and Sagittarius, two fire signs, with whom he gets along wonderfully well. If Aquarius were a vegetable, If Aquarius were a plant, it would certainly be popular. In addition, forget-me-nots, majorism, or poet's eyes are also among the plants that are best suited for them. In general, Aquarius natives have preferences for eccentric plants, such as carnivorous plants. Finally, the guardian plant of Aquarius is the orchid. Animal. Large birds, such as the albatross, are the best representation of Aquarius. In general, Aquarius natives are more attached to migratory birds or aquatic birds. The pelican is another animal representing the natives of Aquarius. A mineral. If Aquarius were a mineral, it would probably be a fire opal, a lucky charm for them. Aquarius are also in harmony with other precious stones. They bring many virtues: purity of aquamarine, the light of the diamond, and the beauty of the pearl, or the nobility of the sapphire. Looking at Aquarius compatibility with other signs, helps one understand what is Aquarius. This also sheds light on how many Aquarius personalities or Aquarius characteristics complement the personalities of other signs of the zodiac. Aquarius and Aries. It is Aries that gives people belonging to the Aquarius zodiac sign the confidence to put their words into action and not just sit and wait for a miracle to happen. Similarly, Aquarius can bring stability to Aquarius's life. I think it might be a typo. Aries can bring stability to Aquarius's life, helping them to finish their incomplete projects first and then move forward. Both signs of the zodiac admire and respect each other a lot, and this is what helps them resolve any conflicts that come their way. Aquarius and Taurus. Aquarius and Taurus are two signs completely opposite characters. When Aquarius craves freedom and independence, Taurus isn't independent enough. While they might be drawn to Aquarius, over time they will eventually be disappointed by their partner's lack of attention. Another negative point in this relationship, the excessive jealousy of Taurus people, will certainly scare Aquarius away. Aquarius and Sagittarius. With Sagittarius, a fire sign, Aquarius, as an air sign, can envision quite an interesting relationship in every way. Very social. Both signs love to share and so live their relationship in full. As always, Aquarius know how to adapt, thus leaving Sagittarius free in their actions. They will be kind of well-appreciated couple with a lot of friends. It is a relationship that is made to last. An excellent combination. How about that? And this is Aquarius and Scorpio. Aquarius and Scorpio are very passionate beings. They can get along well and build a strong relationship. The dominant tendency of the Scorpio does not concern Aquarius, who will not lack the imagination to adapt to it. However, one should note the very jealous nature of the Scorpion, which can be a problem for the Aquarius, who craves freedom. With some compromises, these two signs could be made for each other. And that's it. Aquarius with Aquarius. Life is beautiful between two natives of Aquarius. Both of them are free-spirited and are looking for adventure and travel plans, so their relationship is made to last. These two complementary signs, in perfect harmony and love, two Aquariuses have a strong connection and even tend to isolate themselves a little. Aquarius and Pisces. On the same wavelength and sharing many affinities, Aquarius and Pisces were made to be together. It is especially the mysterious side of the native of Pisces that will lure Aquarius in. They are both sensitive and passionate beings. They will make a very beautiful couple and will certainly experience many moments of happiness. Watch out for them water signs, though. They can get you. To sum it up, signs most compatible with Aquarius, keeping in mind Aquarius traits, are Libra, Gemini, are Aries, and Sagittarius. Similarly, signs not very compatible with Aquarius are Scorpio and Taurus. And that is about it. The fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Like fire itself, fire signs tend to be passionate, dynamic, and temperamental. Fire can keep you warm, or it can do great destruction. While fire burns out quickly without fuel to keep it going, it can also regenerate its power from the ashes. A single spark can set off a forest fire. As a result, fire signs need to be nurtured and managed carefully. No comment. The air signs Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Air signs are all about action, ideas, and motion. They are winds of change. When a strong gust hits you, you can't help but move. While some within their ranks may be true life airheads, Others are as powerful as a gravity-defying G-force. Yeah, when they want to be. Air signs bring everyone a breath of fresh air when things start to get stale. Like the breeze, you can't quite catch it. And you never know where they'll drop you once they sweep you up. It will almost always be an adventure, though. Then we have the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Earth signs keep it real. They are grounded people on the planet, the ones who bring us down to earth and remind us to start with a solid foundation. Slow and steady, these builders are loyal and stable and stick by their people through hard times. Gee, I wish I knew what that was like. On good days, they're practical at worst. They can be materialistic or too focused on the surface of things to dig into depths. The water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Intuitive, emotional, and ultra-sensitive water signs can be as mysterious as the ocean itself. Like water, they can be refreshing. They can drown you in their depths. You sure can. These signs often have intense dreams and borderline psychotic intuition.
Psychic intuition, sorry.
Security is important to them, after all. Water needs a container, or it dries up and disappears. So there's fire and earth and air, water. You can be dominant in an element or lacking in an element. You can also have a chart that is equally balanced in each of the elements. The meaning of this is just like what it sounds. A chart can be dominant or lacking in those corresponding qualities. The elemental states of each sign in astrology. There's another layer to the story. Not only do the three signs all share an element together, but each one is thought to reflect a different variation of the element or a particular state. This is where modes come into play. There are three modes: cardinal, fixed, and mutable. The planets are split into three groups, where 4 planets each belong to a mode. We won't delve into modes in this article. Read about the meaning of modes in astrology here. But each group helps describe the variation of the element the sign takes on. Here are how the signs each express their individual element. I was going to read for Aquarius. Here we go. Aquarius is reflected by still air, such as that which predominates in space. It can also be seen as the quality of electricity, an intangible current, a carefully controlled and contained flow of energy, and yet at its basis composed of erratically moving particles. Excellent. Those born between the dates of January 21st and February 20th are doubly blessed than babies. To be born during that period for many years to come will be favored of the gods. Lucky dogs. The solar system has entered the sign of the Son of Man, Aquarius, where it will remain for over 2,000 years. According to planetary revolutions, the Sun passes through Aquarius once every solar year. Thus we have the double influence of Aquarius vibration, January 21st to February 20th. Air contains 78% of nitrogen gas, believed by scientists to be mineral in ultimate potency.
Minerals are formed by the precipitation of nitrogen gas. Differentiation is attained by the proportion of oxygen and aqueous vapor, hydrogen, that unites with nitrogen. A combination of sodium and chlorine forms the mineral known as common salt. This mineral absorbs water. The circulation or distribution of water in the human organism is due to a chemical action of molecules of sodium chloride. Crude soda cannot be taken up by mucous membrane absorbents and carried into the circulation. The sodium molecules found in the blood have been received from vegetable tissue,
which drew these salts from the soil in high potency. The mineral or cell salts can also be prepared to absorb it. In biochemic or homeopathy, potency as fine as the trituration of nature's laboratory in the physiology of plant growth. Then they are thoroughly mixed with sugar
of milk and pressed into tablets, ready to be taken internally to supply deficiencies in the human organism. A lack of the proper amount of these basic mineral salts, 12 in number, is the cause for all so-called disease.
Common table salt does not enter the blood, being too coarse to enter the delicate tubes of the mucous membrane absorbents, but this salt does distribute water along the intestinal tract. Now this is the, I've talked about them before. It's bioplasma. It's got the 12 cell salts. I got Ted to buy it. And he says it's, he swears by it. Since I've been using them, you get like, I don't know, 1,000 of them for $10. Since I've been using them, I haven't been sick. That's all I know. And I used to get at least one cold a year. Thank God, my biggest nightmare is to get the flu and then get pneumonia. And then you're a goner. I know a couple guys who died last year. One of them was from the flu, pneumonia. In the cold northern states, you got to worry. Because right now the flu is an epidemic. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. All right. Aquarius is known in astrological symbols as the water bearer. Sodium chloride, known also as natrium miracetum, is also a bearer of water and chemically corresponds to the zodiacal angle of Aquarius. The term angle, or angel, of the sun may also be used, for the position of the sun at birth largely controls the vibration of blood. So then we have sodium chloride as the birth salt
of Aquarius people.
The governing planets are Saturn and Uranus. The gems are sapphire, opal, and turquoise. The astral colors are blue, pink, and Nile green. Aquarius is an air sign. In Bible alchemy, Aquarius represents Dan, the fifth son of Jacob, and means judgment, or he that judges. In the symbolism of the New Testament, Aquarius corresponds to the disciple James. Part 1. Introduction by Inez Adora Perry. Dr. George W. Carey's book, The Relation of the Mineral Salts of the Body to the Signs of the Zodiac, has seen many editions, but it was not until 1906 that I secured my first copy, and mentally hungry for truth, eagerly devoured its pages. Such actual meat and drink it was to me, so fascinatingly interesting, that I was convinced at once of its immeasurable value to humanity. The realization became intensified year after year as constant experience and intensive research were conclusive proof. I believe that the day is not far distant when Dr. Carey will be acclaimed as one of the world's greatest benefactors. In this chaotic and materialistic age, he discovered and published a priceless key which unlocks the door to mental as well as physical health. An understanding and use of this key will accomplish the physiochemical process whereby mankind can regenerate. This means the slow but sure rise from physical and mental degeneracy, disease, unhappiness, and death to the glorious state which is the heritage of everyone. Thus will be consummated the scripture injunction, Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. Matt 5:48. The great majority of people will be startled, if indeed not actually shocked, by the statement which 15 years of earnest research and experience causes me to make. Duty and a sincere wish to help humanity are also contributing factors. But there is another and more powerful reason. Our solar system is entering in the cycles of the ages. The sign of Aquarius, the Son of Man, and those who know the truth, or any part of it, must write, speak, and live it. Aquarius is the humanitarian or human sign, and the planet vibration, Uranus, is the ruler of this division of the Zodiac, which is the path of the solar system. Therefore, as this is the age of truth, those who speak and work for it are working in harmony with natural law, while those who follow the opposite course will wonder why they are not prospering. To prosper means to have sufficient for one's necessities, to be physically and mentally comfortable. It is only truth that matters. Opinions do not count. Dr. Carey was not interested in the latter. He was an iconoclast. He felt impelled to make significant statements, no matter how they were received. My method and purpose is the same as his. I inspire to give out facts as I know and have proved them to be. Therefore, please consider carefully and earnestly the following statement, which should be written in letters of flame. A knowledge of and the practice of the process necessary to the attainment of perfection is absolutely impossible without a thorough understanding of physiological chemistry. This Dr. William Schussler furnished in his biochemic system of medicine, and the perfect key was supplied by Dr. Carey in his allocation of the biological salts, the Zodiac signs. The truth of the foregoing statement is as definite and real to me as the fact that I live, moving, and have my being. I wish it could be made even more empathic so that it would be engraved forever in the minds of those who read it. Dr. Schussler's system is the only true system of medicine, for it is the method of supplying the blood with its component parts. The Bible most truly states a great chemical fact.
Leviticus 17:11.
I never heard of that one before. In the following words, "For the life of the flesh is in the blood, for it is the blood that maketh an atonement for the soul." As the blood is the life of the flesh, it naturally follows that, as man is a trinity, body or flesh, soul, and spirit, the quality, condition, or health of his body determines that of his soul, which corresponds in the exact degree. The word atonement means at one mint, atonement or harmony, at one mint or harmony. If the blood were chemically perfect, the highly differentiated and attenuated nerve and glandular fluids, which constitute the soul, would also be perfect. It is only when the blood is chemically perfect that the full quota of spirit, otherwise God power, can enter the body, for like attracts like. The study of Schussler's biochemistry enables us to become acquainted with all different kinds of material or basic substance, which the great chemist and architect of the universe created as a medium for the spirit, which is life. Spirit manifests imperfectly when material is deficient. Deficiency means disease, lack of ease, inharmony, imperfection. Dormant, unhealthy, or imperfect brain cells not make
For an efficient brain.
Thought corresponds to the nature and condition of the brain cell, for they consume our thought machine, and the quality and value of that which brings forth depend entirely on its condition. Herein lies the explanation of all the trouble in the world. Sin, crime, disease, death, unhappiness, insanity, fear, cowardice, lack of positivity, differences in opinions, and the wars of nations and peoples. Each one of us represents a conscious or aggregate of vibrations, a sum total of those present in nature at the time we come into birth. Indeed, it is what makes birth possible. A certain rate of vibration is manifesting at the particular time, and a corresponding result is produced. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Sowing and reaping and sowing constitute birth and death. If we were not responsible for the kind of life we live, we would not be accountable for the form of death which we attract. Interesting. It is not, then, equally logical that a reincarnating ego must, because of the vibratory law of attraction, come to birth in an environment and into conditions which are decided by this self-same law. Otherwise, justice would not exist. Justice is conformity to divine law. It is the working out, the expression or administration of law, doing the right thing because it is the best. In Greek mythology, which constitutes the sacred and secret writings of that people, we find this statement, which, it seems to me, agrees perfectly with the foregoing. Amphion built the walls of Thebes, the human head, by charming, producing a harmonious vibration, the stones, mineral elements, into their places by the music of his lyre. The lyre is a certain marvelous organ in the head. It is a poetic way of stating that the human head, which is the beginning of the human body, is formed according to a vibratory law, for by it the very mineral atoms are grouped. Together, the cells form. The meaning of Thebes is head. It was originally a physiological term, showing the chemical correspondence of the mineral salt, caliphos, or phosphate, of potassium. To the highest part of the head, the cerebrum, alone elevates Dr. Carey to the heights where honor and graduate should forever be accorded him. For this salt is the dynamic material which generates spiritual electricity and ensouls the physical form with life. This is only one of his 12 astounding allocations. For astrology, the synthesizer of all knowledge, both cosmic and microcosmic, in the universe and in man, reveals to us why Caliphas is the airy salt, the substance through which the Most High manifests in man, is the cause of actual life in his form, and to the degree in which the cerebrospinal nerves are supplied with it, will energy or life manifest in and through him. The light of intelligence, spirit, or father will burn brightly if this substance, which alone can feed it, is sufficiently and adequately furnished. Therefore, perfect supply of the right chemical elements means perfect cells, perfect brain, perfect thought, perfect acts, perfection, a God-man. In contributing the foregoing, I bespeak my deep and lasting gratitude to Dr. George W. Carey for the chemical light which he has thrown on dark places. Reader, truth is the water of life. May you drink deeply and begin to learn how to live forever. And let patience have its perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire and lack nothing. James 1:4. Take care. I'll see you down the road.
Interesting it becomes.